Searching. Locking tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Somebody tell me where the party at? Where the party at? Where the party at?
Happy Hour starts live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Hoppy.
Ryan Hoppe.
Hoppy.
Ryan Hoppe.
Hoppy.
Ryan Hoppe.
This is Happy Hour.
It's time to turn Hoppy on. From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
Yes, this is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, hanging out for the next hour. So call the show. I'm very alone. I'm single, and I'm ready to mingle. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY, and I will be sure to take your call in real time. Tweeting me at Ryan Hoppe. But first, let's appreciate this song over and over, Sol de Jour. My head. Get the Hoppy Radio app, and you can chat me live anytime, anywhere, and you can listen at any time, anywhere, like I just said to you. This is being brought to you by Eric Marshall, EMK Final Round, Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA. Are you sick and tired? Are you fed up with being out of shape? You sick and tired of waking up in the morning, looking at yourself in the mirror and going, ugh, I'm in awful shape. And you look at your beautiful wife, and there she is with that great body, and you're just a slob. Eric Marshall, EMK Final Round in Bradenton is the guy that will change your life forever. If I can lose 40 pounds, so can you. 6103 28th Street East, and that's in Bradenton. Call him at any time besides at night. 941-812-2560. It's 941-812-2560. Change your life today. Oh, yeah. Love this song. Just put you in a good mood. Picture this. Came out in 2001. I was in first grade. I bet that makes people feel old. Wonder what the clubs were like back then with flip phones, you know? When you could actually appreciate the moment and weren't getting all drunk and then filming it on the iPhone. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. All right. We have so much to get into. We have so much that is going on in the world, you know? I was actually going to go get a workout in. I was going to swim at the gym. You know, the gym. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's the ones with the pool. Then I was going to get a workout in because I haven't worked out as hard because I've been busy holiday season with the bone. And it's one of those things where when you get busy during the season, you don't have as much time to work out. I just feel like Christmas and Thanksgiving is really a time you just don't have as much time to work out anyway, which is why you should go to Eric Marshall Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA so that you look great at the Christmas dinner. But I was going to go swimming, and there's nothing worse than when you're all pumped up and you're ready to go get your workout in, and then, you know, there's a swim class of people dancing, looking very Caucasian. And you're like, you know what, whatever. I paid $28 per month, and it's not like I had to pay a $86 activation fee to get in. I'm like, I'll use the hot tub. And you walk into the locker room, and there's a big sign, hot tub is closed. And it makes you wonder, what am I paying for when the hot tub is shut down? Come on. Then at the gym, too. I want to get at least a boxing workout in. And, of course, they put the boxing bags in the yoga room, which doesn't make any sense because all the beautiful women are getting their workout in. And you think it's a good idea to have the boxing bags in the back. So while, they're working out, they're feeling alive. They're just so happy about themselves. They just came from their 9 to 5, and this is their escape from their kids, and there's some RuPaul in the background. Mm-hmm. That's right. You think it's a good idea to have a yoga class playing this while there's boxing bags in the background? Imagine this, all the women in their yoga pants looking fine, then my goofy ass in the background going, yeah. I think that's a good idea to have the boxing bag in the same room as the yoga class that's occupied between 4 to 8 p.m. and just have me punching the bags like, ugh. God damn it. And then when you go to the gym during the day, all the old people are occupying everything. So it's like you have to go like at the perfect time, which is between like 2:15 to 4 o'clock. And I was board hopping today, the best of Drew Garabo live. So I didn't have time. So when I got to the gym, the swim classes were going on, and then all the beautiful women are doing their yoga. That's right. Oh, yeah. Singer RuPaul. Of course not. All right, and enough of that. We have a publicity stunt in the works that everybody fell for. You wondering what happened? Here it is from TMZ.com.
So Cardi B is really pissed off that people are suggesting that when Offset jumped on stage during her Rolling Loud performance over the weekend, it was staged.
Oh, heaven forbid that the average, hardworking, average Joe think that a rich celebrity that just went through a breakup, that loves the attention like Cardi B and Offset, that loves the attention, that they would maybe milk everything out of it by having Offset go up during the concert and beg for her to come back. No normal man, unless you're a pussy, goes up in the middle of anything in front of people and begs your ex to come back. Please come back. Like when I got dumped in June, you didn't see me knocking on the door of my ex. Please take me back, you sociopath. So if you really think that Offset was being sincere when he went during Cardi B's concert, then you're just falling for it. And that's why they're worth millions. That's why we're not.
We are told that she is adamant it was not staged. The reason this is all coming up is that, Offset jumped on stage with a cart of roses that said, "Take me back, Cardi," interrupted the performance. She certainly seemed angry that he had done it. But
she's been on reality shows. She's a performer. She used to be an adult dancer, so she has to pretend like she cares about being around those horny men. What I'm saying is, in this video of her acting like she's mad that people think that it's a PR move, you can clearly tell that she's acting because that's what she does for a living. Jesus Christ, everybody falls for it.
But then we saw video of her publicist, Cardi B's publicist, Patience, actually leading the way for Offset to make it up on stage. And that made us think, hey, wait a minute, was Cardi B in on it? Now, we are told by our sources, and they are very good sources connected to both Patience, Offset, and Cardi B, that this was not something that Cardi B knew about, and she was...
You really think, Harvey Levin, you lawyer, you rich, intelligent man that created TMZ, you really think that this isn't a PR move? Think about it. Of course, TMZ is going to backtrack and say that it wasn't a PR move. Now, hear me out. You don't have to listen to the show for the rest of the time, but hear me out here. Even though I like when you guys listen, the numbers have been up a lot lately. What I'm saying is, of course, TMZ is going to backtrack and then kiss the ass of Cardi B and Offset because the sources that said that the Cardi B and Offset proposal of him going up there begging for her to come back are mad that TMZ, the biggest celebrity news site, would even insist that it was a PR move. So they're backtracking because they're nervous that they're going to lose a good relationship with the sources that are close to Cardi B. And then if they piss off and burn the bridge with the sources that are close to Cardi B, they won't be able to report on Cardi B. It's that simple. If you really can't figure it out, then you're the reason why they're rich and famous. If you really can't figure out that they do everything, they work like in the song Supermodel. Singer Paul. Everything does look good on Cardi B. Say what you want. She's probably a person that can get a hit on a person and get them, beat up. And I'm saying that nicely because I don't want to be killed. What I'm saying to you guys is Cardi B is very good looking, but she is frightening. Let's see what else is going on in the news when it comes to celebrity gossip.
Pete Davidson refused to see Ariana Grande when she came rushing to 30 Rock where he was doing SNL.
Why would Pete Davidson? So he's having this mental breakdown, freaking out on social media. And the reason of his breakdown is probably because, he just got dumped about 6-7 weeks ago by the biggest singer in the world who's gorgeous. It's not that he's bad looking, but he outkicked his coverage. So what I'm saying to you is, when Ariana comes knocking, hey, Pete, he knows that she's not going to take him back. He knows that he's not going to get pity sex from her. And I don't even think pity sex would be healthy because, it was good with her. So what I'm saying is, I almost think it was a bad move on her part to go and see him at SNL because she's making it about her where she's like, yeah, I dumped him and I broke his heart, but I'm going to go see him and trigger him. He's already an insane person. Like, I got dumped 6 months ago, and there has been no contact with that sociopath, and it's been great. I actually saw my first girlfriend's parents at Drew Garabo's Drew Saves Christmas toy drive. Really weird. So I met my first girlfriend's parents 3 years ago, 2016. Where does time go? Time flies. And they were okay to me, And I see them every year at Drew's toy drive. So it's like an annual thing. You know how there's Thanksgiving every year and then there's Christmas on the 25th and Hanukkah. For me, it's seeing my first girlfriend's parents at the toy drive. And the last 2 years, they've been like, hi, Ryan, how's it going? Good, and good to see you, bye. This year, it was weird. I went to shake the mom's hand, and she was having no deal about it. She was not about to do it. Then the funny part was the dad, who I've talked to, goes, you're really tall, Ryan. Can you fix my air conditioning in my house? Aha. It wasn't awkward at all.
Shut up!
It's very bizarre. It's very odd. It kind of took you back a bit. So it's better when you aren't in contact with people that are your exes because it's the healing process. Time heals all wounds. So shame on Ariana Grande for thinking that it was a good idea to go see Pete Davidson. It's just going to trigger him even more. Dummy.
This after an apparent suicide note that he posted earlier in the day. Ariana had been telling friends that she was extremely worried about Pete after reading the post and said she was going to 30 Rock where he was rehearsing SNL.
And she makes a whole big production out of it. Like, it wasn't like she went through the side door. She went through the front entrance where she's like, Look at me. I'm helping out my crazy ex who's really funny. I'm a good person. If you really kind of care about Pete, you wouldn't go up and say hi to Pete.
To see if she could comfort him. We are told that he was so adamant he didn't want to see her that he talked to security and made sure that they blocked her from making her way upstairs to where he was. Ariana never saw him, and Pete seems on the ropes.
So when SNL aired, Pete was barely even in the show at all. We've talked to some people, and apparently he didn't show up to dress rehearsals and was just kind of hanging out in backstage in his pajamas. So that was the reason why he was barely even in the show.
You know he's off his rocker when he's in his pajamas. And even when he was introducing the gorgeous Miley Cyrus, who, man, 5 years ago, she looked like a skank. Man, 2018, 2019, she is gorgeous. So Pete's up there introducing Miley Cyrus, and he just looks like he's not all there. He looks like he was in the back crying in front of Colin Jost and Michael Che. Like, you shouldn't even had him on TV. Like, he looked like he wasn't all there.
We did get to see Pete, though, once when he introduced Miley Cyrus, and then he never appeared on the show again.
So Cardi B is really pissed off that people are suggesting that when...
Yes, we know. I don't know why that's playing again. Sorry about that. Okay. Here's my thing. I've kind of met Pete Davidson. Like, he wouldn't remember me. He wouldn't care about me. We're not in the same tax bracket. He's like a less awkward version of me. And let me explain before you think I'm a narcissist, even though I am, for comparing myself to Pete Davidson. We both lost our fathers in a tragic way. Now, he lost him in 9/11. A lot worse than... At least I got to know my dad for 21 years. My dad dies of cancer. Then he gets a really hot girlfriend. And I asked my ex to marry me after about 9 months. Now, granted, Pete's was after about 4 weeks, but we move fast. We're very braggy on air about our ex, which is now our ex now. Pete's on SNL bragging about her and bragging about her on social media. I was bragging about my ex on social media and having her on my show. And then we get dumped and we're both mentally insane. So I really can feel with Pete. Now, granted, my ex was nowhere near as good looking as Ariana Grande. That's just a fact. So what I'm saying to you is I can't relate on that factor. But what's been really annoying is all these middle-aged radio hosts and comedians like AJ Benza, who was saying that he needs to grow up and man up. Like, none of you Generation X hack douchebags ever went through a bad breakup. Like, none of you cretins ever got your heart broken and thought that you're going to be with a girl for the rest of your life. Like, none of you cretins were ever young and dumb. I'm sorry. I guess all the Generation X and baby boomers that are ripping into Pete Davidson were perfect their whole life and amazingly accurate at picking who they dated. They've been with one woman their whole life. They've never been in other relationships because they've always been so excellent. They've excelled at dating the right women. Shut up. Shut the F up. I'm sick and tired of everybody ripping into Pete Davidson. Now people go, well, you know, but Pete Davidson was mean to that veteran on TV. Well, you know, Pete Davidson, it's a comedic joke. It's him being an edgy comedian. Why is it funny when Dave Attell or Jim Florentine or any of those comedians are funny and edgy? But when a kind of bratty millennial does it, everybody's offended and everybody's ripping into him. Now, Pete brought it on himself, but that's because he was young and he was banging the hottest musical superstar in the world, dummies. I would lose my mind too. He's probably worth about $800,000 and he just moved back in with his mom. He was living in a penthouse with a girl that's worth about $30 million. I would lose my mind too. I would be freaking out too. Now I heard the rumor. I heard the news that Machine Gun Kelly was coming to Pete's defense. That Machine Gun Kelly had his back. That's a good thing. I met MGK twice when I worked on the Cleveland-based Rovers Morning Glory. And he's a really good dude. So I hope that this wild boy,
Call me Steve. Oh,
hope he gets Pete laid.
yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
I hope that MGK helps him get over it, maybe with some questionable substances. I'm just saying. If there is anybody who can help Pete Davidson get over it, it would be MGK. He's not that wild. He's not that crazy. So he would help you get over it and would help you get laid. Mm-hmm. I'm just sick and tired of everybody acting like they've been so perfect in their life and they've never made any choices that they regret. I'm just saying. We will be right back on Happy Hour. We have so much to get into, so do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you're listening to my show. Thank you.
I'm a bitty bitch. There you go, that's John Doe.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Are you sick and tired of waking up every morning and looking at yourself in the mirror and being disappointed in how you look? Are you sick and tired of going to social events and seeing your friends in better shape? Are you sick and tired of watching TV shows and wishing you had the body of the famous actors? Well, guess what? That can change immediately if you go to Eric Marshall Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA in Bradenton. He has the best classes for you to get you in shape. It's not like any other boxing trainer where they're just cashing in a check, teaching a class. Eric Marshall cares about each and every one of you that come to his class. So if you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a top-notch deal. Now, to get into contact with Eric, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. 6103 28th Street East, and that's in Bradenton. 941-812-2560. Go there and get into shape today.
From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
This is what you would call a classic Show Me What You Got by Jay-Z, 2006. I was in 6th grade with a portable CD player listening to the edited version from Walmart because my religious parents didn't want me listening to uncensored music. It brings you back memories. All right. What I like about what I bring to this show is that I never act like I am the authority on sports. I never act like some people on the 4-letter sports news propaganda channel that act like they are always correct and that their crap doesn't smell and they are always accurate about everything. You'll never see me get defensive or mad if I'm wrong about a prediction. You'll never see me get butthurt or just pissed off. If I'm wrong, whatever. That's the beauty of sports. If you're incorrect on something, you admit it like a man and you move on. I have a prediction for you. So the New England, that's a new team. The New England Patriots lose to Pittsburgh. Then the previous week, they lost in that fluke play by the Dolphins. And the media in the beginning of the season said that the Patriots were done. Then in the middle of the season, they said that the Patriots were fine. And then they were saying after these last two losses that the Patriots are done. Make up your mind. You know when the Patriots are done? Is when the clock reaches zero in the playoffs and they've been eliminated. I don't care that they have a hard time in the playoffs winning road games. I don't care that they seem to be kind of run down and maybe Father Time's finally hitting Tom Brady. If you truly believe that Tom Brady is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, if you truly believe that Bill Belichick is a great coach, you should have faith in this team. Are they one of the contenders in front of everybody to win the Super Bowl? No. But all-time great players make it work. Now, if the Patriots were like, let's say 8-7 or a 500 team, then maybe you would worry. But I'm just not ready to count them out yet until I see a playoff game where they look bad. I just don't really believe in counting them out because I think it's the lazy, uncreative, hack sports media that was never, ever good at playing sports, so they get a high from ripping into these players and acting like they know better. There's just something in my mind that goes, the Patriots aren't done. Patrick Mahomes hasn't proved anything for the AFC. Pittsburgh is a hit or miss. Lamar Jackson's not a very good quarterback on Baltimore. Is Andrew Luck going to make a big move if they make the playoffs? Is Marcus Mariota going to have a big run when it comes to the playoffs? Listen. Anything can happen. I'm not sitting here acting like I am the expert on sports, like I am the authority. Is the Texans going to have a huge run? You never, ever know. I would say that the Patriots are going through a lot of hard times right now. I would say that the Patriots, it's not looking good. But they've won enough games where if they can get to the playoffs, I know they're not going to have the bye probably, so they're going to have to play on the road. I just am not ready to call off the Patriots until I see them lose. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just saying. It's so funny how the sports media does not know that they are incorrect a lot and they have these hot takes and they're so opinionated, and then a lot of times they're wrong. Okay. Also in sports, it's almost like the New York Giants just want to, make their fan base suffer forever. It's almost like the New York Giants are like, you know what? We're in the biggest city in this continent of North America. We're the Big Apple. We're just going to make our fans suffer. Because Pat Shurmur came out and throws support for Eli Manning after they got blown out and they didn't score any points on Sunday. And this whole year, if you talk about somebody that's been hit by Father Time, it's not really Tom Brady yet. It's beginning to happen. It's Eli Manning. You look at how he plays, and you would never guess that this is a guy that won 2 Super Bowls with clutch plays and beat the Patriots. He looks atrocious. So you know what most normal coaches would do? Is they would move on. You know what most coaches would do? Is they'd go, thank you for the 2 rings, Eli, but we got to let you go. Their coach, this is from the New York Post, Pat Shurmur throws support for Eli Manning, says he has years left as the main quarterback for the New York Giants. And you know what this is? They're not confident in their draft pick in Lauletta. He seems to have some issues off the field, like getting speeding tickets and getting taken in. And they're just comfortable with Eli. And they don't know what they're doing. They are clueless currently. They are out of their mind. Man, if I were a New York Giant fan, I would be embarrassed. I would be in such an atrocious sports mood to think that Pat Shurmur is supporting a quarterback who literally is on his last leg and overthrows throws. If I were a New York Giant fan, I'd be embarrassed that my quarterback can't make it work with one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, with Odell Beckham. If I were a New York Giant fan, I'd be embarrassed that every single week that Eli Manning goes on his weekly interview with Mike Francesa, he goes, "We fought hard, we didn't score enough points, we didn't do this, I have autism on the spectrum." That's who you guys want to have for years? Is Eli Manning? Good riddance. The Giants do not want to look ahead just yet, but that does not mean the outside world will be in the moment. After losing season is nearing an end, and the fate of Manning is on the minds of anyone and everyone who cares about the team. So does Pat Shurmur, the coach, want Manning back in 2019? Yeah, he said. I want all the players to be back. I really do. They are currently 5-9 with 2 games remaining. He goes, I believe experience matters. That's great and all. Great that he had his touchdown to David, I forget the last name, the wide receiver in 2008 that helped them get the touchdown against the Patriots. It's great that Eli Manning got that nice throw to Mario Manningham in the Super Bowl. It's great, okay? It's awesome. But you can't live in the past. That must mean that there is something going on with their draft pick, Kyle Lauletta. They see nothing in him. If they drafted him and they have no faith in him, that they would rather have Eli Manning, who literally is on his last leg. Yes, experience is great. That's fine. That's dandy. But it doesn't seem like his experience is being used to groom the future quarterbacks of the Giants. It seems like Pat Shurmur doesn't know what he's doing. If I were a Giant fan, man, I would just not even support this team. Yeah, his experience is really working. They lost 17-0 to the Titans. And then Pat Shurmur can't be serious about this. Eli Manning, who will be turning 38 next month, has years left as a quarterback. If Tom Brady, who's the all-time great quarterback, is beginning to get hit by Father Time, but has been great the last almost 20 years and was phenomenal 3 years ago when he was 38. If Eli Manning is 38 and they think has years left, how awful is he going to be when he hits the big 4-0? If he's this bad and this average, if that, saying that Eli Manning is average is an embarrassment to average quarterbacks. It's an atrocious comparison. But what I'm saying is, if Eli Manning is this bad now at 38 and they think he has years left, number one, Pat Shurmur must be watching highlights from 2013 of Eli, and number two, has no idea what he is doing with this franchise. He is clueless. And I'm not saying I could coach the Giants under that scrutiny of weekly interviews with Mike Francesa and being a part of the New York sports media. But anything at this point would be better than Eli Manning. Anything. My cat would be better and would bring more than Eli Manning. He's awful now. What is Pat Shurmur looking at? What? He said, Eli Manning playing gives us the best chance to win. That must mean that Kyle Lauletta is awful. That must mean that they see something in Kyle Lauletta where he is so bad and he is so immature and he is so not ready to be quarterback that they would rather have a guy who's about to go through a midlife crisis be the quarterback of the Giants. And Kyle Lauletta, it's not like he's a baby. He's 23 years old. Are you out of your mind? And then Kyle Lauletta's not happy that his demotion went to being the third backup quarterback. Well, you've done nothing to prove that you're worth it, dummy. God, the entitlement, of these athletes. I swear to God, is out of this world. So guess what? It is insane what is going on in Cleveland. It is out of this world that Cleveland has a chance to make the playoffs. Now, it's not going to happen, but it's insane to think that they are close to being a 500 team.
If you're from Cleveland and the dogs you believe in, time to sing it loud.
Man, that is their fight song, Brownstown. This sounds like it was recorded on some random dude's podcast equipment in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
We have a team that's got a Super Bowl dream. We're San Diego.
How bad is that their fight song is like, we have a dream to win the Super Bowl? Yeah, I have a dream to make $100,000, not $100,000. That doesn't make sense. I have a dream to win $100 million. It's a dream.
Brownstown, with Matthews, Walker, Golick, Kirsten, Miner, Bevan, Bernie, Langhorne, Cody, Matt, Mazzoli, Barber.
Yawn. Poor Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield and that scumbag known as Greg Williams, never forget about Bountygate, are looking pretty good this season. It's not a bad thing. It's a pretty good thing. Here is my thing. I'm not trying to rain on the parade of Cleveland Brown fans. I need to see them next year win games in the beginning of the season. There were a few games where they could have been 500 or a game above 500. The loss against the Bucs, when they had the tie against Pittsburgh, and other games that aren't coming to my mind. Now, granted, their former coach was a buffoon, so it's not a surprise that they lost those games. But Greg Williams said it's not fair to talk permanent head coach right now for him to get that. Yeah, it's not fair, but they are 4-2 under you, and the enthusiasm about the team is at an all-time high. He's just being humble because he really wants the gig. I'm really hoping, because I lived in Cleveland, it's a good city, I really hope that Baker Mayfield is as legit as he seems. I really hope that Baker Mayfield is as great as he seems, and he's not just a 1 year or 2 year dud wonder and then goes on to be a dud. Because if Baker Mayfield can be the quarterback of the future for Cleveland, it would almost be a bigger deal than LeBron James. But it seems like he really embraces being a part of the dog pound fan base and wouldn't leave and then come back. No, it's a different sport, but I'm just saying, if Baker Mayfield can make it in Cleveland, that dude will never have to buy a drink again. And he can get any girl he wants to get on top of him. Greg Williams said, I don't think it's fair for the players or anybody here to talk about me getting the permanent coaching job. We'll talk about it at the end. But just never, ever, ever forget that he was the scumbag that was a part of Bountygate back in 2011. But Cleveland's been so bad recently that I think they should embrace it. Just go with it. They have the worst ownership in sports, so it really will be a test of the times to see if they are able to use this momentum and do something good out of it. Now, also going on in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson had 18 carries for 95 yards. Yes, he's the quarterback, and he has run the ball. More than any other quarterback ever. In his first 5 games, he has run the ball 26 times, 11, 17, 14, and 18 times. That's an average of 17 rushing yards. That is not a good sign if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. Maybe I'm wrong, and he'll be the quarterback of the future. Like I said, I don't mind if I'm wrong about sports. Here's the issue. No other quarterback has ever averaged more than 10 rushing attempts. But his arm is very average. And even if Baltimore makes the playoffs and even gets a run, I feel like it's the Kaepernick or RG3 effect or Michael Vick where defenses are going to figure out how to guard him. And if Lamar Jackson really wants to figure out how to run Baltimore and be a great quarterback, he needs to work on that arm because every defense ever. Now, I may be wrong about all my hot takes today, but I am certainly correct that you cannot be a running quarterback in the long run because defenses every time figure out how to guard you because the defensive coordinators and the players and the coaches watch the film. Just saying. If I was Baltimore, I would appreciate it, but I think they're going to realize that Joe Flacco wasn't that bad because he actually could pass the ball. And guess what is going on in Chicago? It's a madhouse in that city I'm from. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play clear the way to victory. Totally not reading the lyrics. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with the might so fearlessly. Never forget the way you thrilled the nation. Here's the thing. I want to believe in Mitchell Trubisky, but he needs to throw the ball more. Now, granted, the defense is very good and the team's good at fighting adversity. And yeah, it's a good win that they were able to beat the Packers. And I'm trying to be excited about the Bears. I'm trying to be able to be at my house watching the game and just go, da 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 da. Bear down, Chicago Bears. I don't know why I'm not feeling it. I see all my friends in Chicago getting down with the Bears, and I just think I'm so much of a pessimist about being a Bears fan that it's hard to believe. I want to be down with it so badly. But I just think we need a little more out of Mitchell as a quarterback in the playoffs. Now, anything can happen, and the Rams have looked like trash. And at times, Drew Brees has looked beatable. But there's something about it that's hard to believe. Now, granted, he's a lot better than Rex Grossman, and he's got a better personality than Jay Cutler. But I met Jay Cutler, and the excrement that Mike Katz put in the litter box was more charismatic, it was more likable, and it had more heart than anything Jay Cutler ever tried to do as a Chicago Bear. He was 2-11. That's a 150. That's a 150 winning percentage. That is not very good. If you were to get 2 out of 11 on a test, you would fail. Jay Cutler failed as the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. So I think I'm just so skeptical about Mitchell because I don't want him to go down the road of Jay. Now, I know it's not going to happen because Mitchell's actually likable, but I just need to see it happen. He just needs to be a little bit better, just a little bit. Because I listen to the sports radio in Chicago, and man, they are losing their mind. There's a term that they use in sports radio in Chicago where they call the dumb fans meatheads. And sports radio in Chicago, this doesn't have edge. Everybody's just drinking the Kool-Aid. You got to just take every moment as it is. Now, maybe I'm being really negative. Now, maybe I need to relax and appreciate the moment. Maybe I need to just be happier. But I don't know. There's just something going on. It frightens me. Now, Tom Brady. Yeah, Father Time might be hitting him. Yeah, Tom Brady might be reaching the end of his career. But there's one thing that you cannot take away from Tom Brady is the fact that he loves playing and is not ready to retire. Because from the New York Post, Gisele Bündchen is giving a push. Gisele Bündchen, rather, is giving up on Tom Brady's retirement push. You know it drives her nuts that he flies all over to be the quarterback. You know it drives him nuts that he's not home enough. Listen, Gisele, you have a whole lifetime of bossing that man around. Listen, Gisele, quit making it about you. I know you're good looking. I know you got money, blah, 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 blah. This is what Tom wants to do. Gisele Bündchen is well aware retirement talk with husband Tom Brady appears to go in one ear and out the other. Last week, she was on Ellen, and she told Ellen she has failed to convince the quarterback to throw in the towel. Ellen goes, I'm a Saints fan, and that would help me tremendously. What? It makes no sense. You can tell Ellen's, number one, not a fan, and number two, doesn't watch sports. They're not in the same division. So unless it were to be Tom Brady versus Drew Brees in the Super Bowl, which it's never been, it doesn't affect you, honey. What an awful joke. I'm a Saints fan, and that would help me. How would that help you? Not even the same division. It's not like you're a Dolphins or a Bills fan or a Pittsburgh fan where he's a rival. He's not in the same division. He's not even in the same time zone. Or when I mean time zone, they're in the same time zone, but he's on a different part of the country. It's not even the same area. Gisele went on to say, I think you should talk with him about that. I haven't been very successful. I want him to do whatever makes him happy. But maybe if you have a conversation with him, explain that you love the Saints. Oh, yeah, because if Ellen goes to Tom Brady and goes, oh, my God, I love the Saints. Can you please retire? He would go, what does that even mean? Because if Tom Brady isn't listening to the mother of his children and his gorgeous wife, he ain't listening to a comedian who has a daytime talk show who's a part of the AARP club. Because you know Tom Brady's going through a midlife crisis where he doesn't want to give it up. like, Giselle, you have a whole lifetime. Like, I think you're going to realize whenever he does retire that you're going to have a lot of free time, and you're going to miss having that free time, you know, where you're going to be able to, like, do what you want and not have to hear him complain. But what do I know? I've never played sports. What do I know? Yeah. That's the noise I would make if I was hanging out with Giselle. I'd be like, Also, speaking of that noise, that was the sound I made during my performance at the company Christmas party. Now you're going, what does that mean? They had a karaoke night, and I can barely speak correctly, let alone sing. Before we end the show, I want to play this for you guys. And I actually haven't watched it because I'm very self-conscious about what people think of me. And within the first 30 seconds, you can hear that everybody in the crowd was horrified by it.
Thank you for your patience, Mr. Hoppe. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Hoppe.
Yeah!
Woo! Oh, yeah!
That is the sound of about 10 beers, no mixed drinks, I didn't want to black out, and liquid confidence. I know they say liquid courage, but it was liquid confidence, I tell you.
Oh, yeah!
I first began very nervous when I was singing, but then I was like, you know what? Life's short. This is going to be funny. Get ready, because you'll hear me nervous in the beginning, and then I just belt out with all my vocal cords the most horrifying thing that ever happened at a Christmas party. Besides that one time with Harvey, you know. Well, never mind, I was at a different Christmas party and a different tax bracket.
You might been hurt, babe. There's no one. Easy now, won't come and go.
If you've ever wondered what it's like having sex with me and what it's like when I'm about to complete, it's like, I'm so close, babe. I'm so close. I'm so close. There you go.
I remember you told me, and it made you believe in no man, no cry. Maybe that's why.
Now, if you've thought this was atrocious, you ain't heard anything yet, honey.
Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't want to lose it.
Every other performance at that company party, everybody, I'm not saying they were being disrespectful by talking, but everybody was kind of listening. You could tell that everybody's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You could just hear the mumbling in the background. It's great.
Again, but I'm not like them. They wouldn't find nothing.
And then you can hear everybody singing at the same time, just trying to make me feel better.
Get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be me.
That's the most cheering that I've ever had at any event in front of people. Everybody ends up booing me at the punch out. You know? And when I worked in Cleveland on Rover's show, they booed me too. I could just hear it in the car as Rover made fun of me. So this moment right here is the first time that anybody's ever cheered for me. I didn't play sports, so this was like my moment. I got chills down my spine, I'll be honest.
It's gonna be me. You got no choice.
All right, Jesus. I feel bad for anybody that had to listen to that in person. And it's funny. Anybody that comes up to me in the office, they're like, yeah, good job, I guess, you know. Yeah, I'm just saying. All right. I know you're sad. I know you're upset when you hear the news, but I got to break the news to you.
Happy hour is about to end, but first, it's time for last call.
Ow! Ow! This has been Happy Hour. Just Google me, you know. RyanHoppyRadio.com, at Ryan Hoppy Radio on Gram, Twitter. It's Hoppy Radio on Snapchat. RyanHoppyRadio@gmail.com. 856-49-HOPPY is the voicemail. Go to Eric Marshall, Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA, EMK Final Round. 6103 28th Street East, and that's in Bradenton. 941-812-2560. It's 941-812-2560. Get in shape today. Spread the word. Listen to Hoppy Radio on Spotify and through the Hoppy Radio app. And that's about it. I'm going to go home and relax. If you're listening to this on 12/17 at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you get the point. Or 12/18 before 2 p.m., I will be on the top-rated Drew Garabo live afternoon show, answering phones. Thanks to Drew and John Senning for the opportunity. Spread the word, and I will talk to you tomorrow, Tampa. Bye.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour is now over, but you can always listen 24/7 by getting the app or going to RyanHoppyRadio.com.